Hey buddies, how you doing? Put a video on my other channel, Dear RV Butterfly, and I am attaching it here because I think it's beneficial even for the RV Butterfly reselling and thrifting group. So I hope that you will like watching it, and I'll talk at you later. Keep watching. Hey y'all, good Monday morning to you. We all know what Monday does to us. Monday just drives us crazy, doesn't it? It did me at work. Usually one day runs into the next now. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody's having good weather. We have sun out today. Thank you, Jesus. I have a little, I guess you would call it either fraud or scammer story for you that actually happened to Bert and I. And it happened with an ad on Facebook Marketplace, which I have forever and ever and ever watched for scammers. I mean, I've been on the computer probably since they were, developed. Yeah. Anyway, so I just wanted to let you guys know this because this channel is about life. It's about over 50. It's about anything that we need to get answered, anything we need to know. I don't do politics and all the rioting, and no, that's not my bag. That is not what this channel is about. However, this is, this channel can be about whatever we want it to be about. And I had forgotten about this until last night, and I was reading about different scams that go on and all that. Well, before we moved here to Texas, we only been here 1 year. Before we moved here to Texas, a lot of you know that when I was like 40 something, I had a very bad horse accident. And a man sold me a horse. I don't know what the idea was with that. It was supposed to be bomb-proof. That doesn't happen all the time, obviously. But anyway, to make a long story short, for those of you who don't know, I fell off the horse because the horse kept going and did not know any cues to stop. And we were headed towards Highway 69, and being as Bert is a horse trainer, we had quit because, he's getting older. He don't need to be on horses no more. So we had quit training horses at that time. And so we got this horse. He was just going to take me around the neighborhood just to get me out of the house for a while because I was used to working and I wasn't working at the time. So, anywho, I finally got the horse to turn left into some bushes. I had no idea what was behind the bushes, mind you. But I finally did what they call a one-lane stop, and he went to the left, which was better than where he was headed. In a quarter of a block, he would have had me on Highway 69 in Texas. Because I was here before in 96 to 2003 or something. But anyway, so to make a long story short here again, my right leg was broken, but not by the horse and not by me falling off. What happened is when we took a left into the bushes, there was a pond. And he was still going a little bit, so the pond, we went in the pond. Well, the horse went across the pond, which was not a huge pond. So I went across the pond and I talked gently to her so that, she wouldn't get scared and run off. And so I was fine right then, okay? But everybody used to always tell me, if a horse throws you off, you have to get off. You have to get back on. Or if you fall off the horse, you have to get back on, because if you don't, they're going to think they could throw you off. Whatever. So, stupid me, I believe that. So, I was all by myself. And So I led the horse back to the street where we were running, because I mean, he was full out. It was a she. She was running full out, okay? Headed towards Highway 69, which was busy, mostly with semis. So anyway, I got her back to the pavement to take her home. It was only about 4 blocks, maybe 4 or 5 blocks. But anyway, so I went to get back on her, but I forgot to tighten up the saddle strap. And I had boots on, so you keep this in mind. I went to get back on her, and when I went to throw my leg over her, the saddle slipped down, and I landed on my feet, right up on my feet, on the pavement. And my leg turned, I guess, and when it turned, it broke, and the bone was almost out of my skin on the right side of my knee, and my ankle was broke. A whole bunch of stuff was broke, but I didn't know it. So I tried to get up and couldn't. So I just sat there in the middle of the road and waited. I said, somebody will come by. They know I'm my daughter's mother because they all went to school together. They'll come by. They'll go let somebody know that I'm sitting here in the middle of the street, right? So they did, you know. The horse she was really sweet. I mean, she got behind me. She wouldn't let no traffic pass. And we were in the middle of the road. So somebody had to stop. So one of my daughter's friends stopped. And he said, "Are you okay?" And I said, "No, I broke my leg. Can you go to the house and get my husband or somebody and have them call an ambulance? And can you bring Lucky back home for me?" And he said, "Yes, I can." And one of them just told me that there was a whole thing of teenage kids inside this car. So he made sure no cars could get past there, you know, because I was kind of up on a hill a little bit. So they went and got my family, and my husband had one of the boys put me in the car, and we went to the hospital. By the time I got there, I was just in delirium because of the pain. It was so bad. It just, your body just kind of shuts off, you know. So the doctor or orderly, whoever he was, came outside and he said, "This is going to hurt and I don't want it to." He said, "But that's the only way I can get you out of this car." It was a little car. So he picked me up, took me in there, and as soon as I got in there, they cut my pants off. And I ended up in surgery, and it's a long story after that. But because of that, they had to reconstruct everything from the knee down in my leg all the way to the end of my ankle. Up to my heel, I guess you would say. So it was pretty bad. But anyway, that should have taught me about people on the internet, because after I got out of surgery and after I got all this stuff done, reconstruction and all that, I tried to call the man and woman who sold me the horse. They would not answer the phone for anything. Not for anything. I left them a message. You wouldn't want to know what I said. But anyway, that was just a short story I wanted to do as a precept to what I'm going to tell you. So now I'm older, right? Okay. Well, because of that, I can't, if I want to go take grandkids to the zoo, or I want to go take, if I want to take a walk even, it's very, very hard for me to walk more than a half a block, maybe. Yeah. So we decided we would get me a, they used to call them hover-rounds, you know, the electric wheelchairs, when we could afford one. Well, of course, that never happened. So we ended up getting one. We saved up for it. We ended up getting one. And then somebody stole it out of our truck when we were moving here at the hotel where we stayed to rest. And they stole a lot of things out of our truck, the moving truck, even though we thought we had it locked. But they stole a lot of stuff, including a safe and all kinds of stuff. But anyway, so because my chair had gotten stolen and I can't go anywhere unless like the zoo or somewhere. Like if I want to go to a state park or I want to do some walking in a museum, I can't do it unless I have some kind of a chair to go around in, because I have a bad back as it is, and then with my leg, it doesn't work right, you know. That's why y'all who are on the other channel don't see me standing up very often doing my unboxings, because I can't really stand up that long. So that's why. But anyway, I went to Marketplace because I do sell on Facebook Marketplace, and I still sell on Poshmark, I still sell on Mercari. And, but anyway, I went to Facebook Marketplace and I said, well, maybe I can find a used scooter, because I had tried to get a scooter through the Medicare. Everybody kept losing my papers, not just Medicare, the doctors, everybody else. 2 years later, I still didn't have a scooter, and I said, screw this. They wanted me to do the paper all over again because they lost it, and that was the second time, and I said, forget it. So I said, I'm going to find me a cheaper one online and use it when I have to go somewhere that I need to, you know, walk around or whatever. Or that I want to go to, like festivals. I can't go to festivals, I can't go to, you know, any place that is gonna have you walk around that won't rent a scooter. And let me tell you, my son rented a scooter at Adventure Park in Florida for me, so I could go with the grandkids and him. It was $65. I'm like, I don't want to borrow it for the weekend, you know, I just want to ride it around the park. But anyway, so he paid for that. But anyway, I got on Facebook Marketplace one day, and there was an ad there, and I kept seeing it every day. When I would go check my own Facebook stuff I was selling, I would go on there every day and look, and this looked like a company, okay? It was like a sponsored ad. So I went ahead and I said, I'm going to buy this. It's very reasonable. I can afford this, which that should have been my first clue, right? So I ordered one for me. Well, when Bert found out I ordered it, he said, buy me one too. I said, no. I said, we don't need to both be in a scooter. He said, well, if I'm going to see you running around in a scooter, then I'm going to do it with you. You know, he said, because, you know, I know how bad you want to walk and stuff, and you can't, and this and that. So I ordered him one. Now, granted, I haven't got mine yet. I had not got mine yet, okay? It has been 3 years, 4 years. Yeah, about 4 years, and we still didn't have them. We don't have them, okay? We never got them. I emailed the company. The company sent me back the internet sent me the letter back saying no such address, blah, blah, blah. Well, there was an address like that when they got my credit card and did it, okay? But, well, my debit card. And, I seen them again, on and off over the last 4 years. They're still on there doing this. They have reviews online. I'll try to find the name of the company or the email address so that I can put it in the description, so you guys don't do this, because, and you probably won't, you know, I was just kind of desperate, and that's the kind of people they try to look for, is people who are desperate, people who don't have the money to go buy these 12, 15, 16, 2,000, you know, hover rounds or whatever. But anyway, so, you know, I got screwed out of 2 scooters. They're not scooters you ride, you know, they're scooters for handicapped people that I could fold up and put in my SUV, so I could kind of go anywhere I wanted to go, you know, and see things before we're not here anymore. So I started looking again to see if I could find anything cheap. I seen the same damn ad on Facebook Marketplace. So what they were doing was posing as an Amazon, let's see how we would put this. They had the Amazon logo in their ad. So I figured, oh wow, it's somebody on Amazon. They ought to be trustworthy, right? Because I didn't just let it go. I started going to Amazon. I told them, listen, I bought this. It had your logo on it. This is a picture of the ad and everything else. They said, we're so sorry, ma'am. People do this all the time. And I thought to myself, you're kidding. They said no. They pose as Amazon. They pose as Walmart. They pose whoever they can to get you to think they're legitimate. So that's when I started doing reviews on them and seeing what it said. And of course, that nobody got their stuff. Some people ordered different stuff from them, and they got something that they never ordered, and they got it a year later. I don't know what the story is. All I'm saying is, make sure you check everybody out. This is why now everything I buy on the internet, every single thing, I try my best to look at all the feedback and all the reviews. Yeah, there's sometimes going to get a bad review anyway. But if you see one good review and the rest of them all suck, then you know that I don't want to deal with this company. I don't want to take the chance, because we were out of that money and I forgot all about it. And this is an over 50 channel mainly, but there's people who are disabled, and you know, they probably go on there, they don't have much money either. And they're thinking, this is a hell of a deal, let's get it. And that's exactly what happened. You know, a whole bunch of people got spoofed from it. So, just be very careful who you deal with online for anything, because I'm going to tell you, being as we were looking for a small RV that we could go traveling around and do videos for you guys, and, you know, see some things, I would look at those on Facebook Marketplace recently, and that's like for the last year since I've been here. And especially since we found out Bert has dementia, I want to make sure he can go see some things, right? So we were looking and looking, and we can't get our credits, not the best, so we can't, you know, we can't buy it like that. We don't have that kind of down payment, what have you. I tried to do a GoFundMe, just to try to get us a tiny home and a little piece of land, just the down payment. And you know, I had 2 people that donated. So, you know, I don't know what you have to do to be on GoFundMe, but I guess that's just not me, because I'm old. They're like, okay, whatever. So, to make a long story short, there's a lot of ads on there about RVs that people are trying to sell, and they look brand new. But if you see an ad that is on there with an RV and there's no inside pictures of that RV, and it looks kind of like a fake landscape behind because it's too beautiful, you know, always ask for inside pictures and pictures of the whole RV outside. If you don't get that, you know that's somebody who is not legitimate, or they don't even have this RV. Because I will tell you, we had went to some places in Florida when we lived in Georgia, because we lived 18 miles from the border or something like that. So we would go visit Bonnie, my cousin, once in a while and all that, in Orlando. So we would go, you know, look at some RVs around there. And it seemed like a lot of times the RV that was still sitting there on Marketplace and everywhere else they got it, even on their own website, it was already gone. But they didn't tell anybody, so that, you know, they had sold it and they were using it as an example of what they carry. Okay? And it was not a good used example, okay? Because some people drove all the way from Miami to the north side of Florida, which is about an 8-hour drive, and they went to pick up this RV that they had put a deposit on, and it was gone. They had already sold it, so they just tried to get him to buy a new one, you know. So, and I've heard that story too many times. So basically, just watch your booty when you're on the internet, and if it sounds too good to be true, it is definitely too good to be true. And I thought that I had that all figured out. But when you get busy with doctor's appointments and you get busy with some bad news you got and everything that's going on in life, I think you tend to let things pass sometimes that you would have normally did. Because normally I would have tore a comb through this ass of these people, okay, before I even gave them a penny. And I didn't. And that was the one time I got scanned. Not once, but twice. From the same company. So anyway, I love you guys. I hope you enjoy this. I hope you take that as a warning to make sure you check reviews on medicine, reviews on anything you want to buy, or any company you want to buy from, before you let go of the money you work so hard for. I love you guys. We'll talk at you later. I hope you enjoy our videos. Please give us a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Make sure you hit the bell in case you haven't, once before, or you don't get my videos no more because you accidentally got axed by YouTube. And share us out if you can to all your social media. We love y'all. Bye.